So dear Dharma practitioners, we're going to start our ongoing meditation session now. Be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, you can mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the blessed one, the exalted one, the fully enlightened one. So dear Dharma practitioners, before we going to start our practice, beginning we have to understand the technique we're going to do ourselves. So mainly here you have to remember you are your own master, you are your own teacher. And then when you learn something, you have to be very careful. And don't depend on words. Don't hold it to words. Even don't hold it to technique. Or don't hold it to any kind of methods or pattern, and don't develop any kind of habits with the spiritual practice. So especially in our conventional life, in our ordinary life with this physical and material world, mostly very easily we depend with our habits and patterns and methods. And because of that, what will happen? We become deterred to that, and we naturally clinging to that method or the pattern or the habit. And that itself another way we can call as samsara, the very becoming nature. So if you look very carefully, there is a becoming nature already in you. You have no power over it. You cannot escape from it. You just have to surrender to it. Just imagine about the tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and the next week, next month, or the next year. And then look about the next life. How you can say, oh, I don't want it. Oh, I'm going to do this way, that way. I'm going to become like this or that. You have no power over it. Of course, we have many kind of plans, preconditioned mind, set up, will, this kind of thing. But underneath this all, there is something happens beyond our imagination. So what is that? How it can come to your life? Underneath this, because there is a pattern, there is a habit, there is a method you already develop in you, which you don't see. As a result of that, what happening, there is something already beyond your life waiting for you. Maybe you have no idea what it is. What is waiting for you for tomorrow to meet somewhere in some place. Maybe it can come as a thought. It can come as a material things. Even it can come as a friend. Even it can come as a Facebook invitation. Even it can come as a Twitter message. Even it can come as a YouTube video. Even it can come as a news bulletin. Even it can come as a mobile alert. So in many ways it can happen. So the only way to deal with that, not to make any plans ahead, because that is the way we used to keep doing. We already develop plans. That's why that unknown tomorrow already waiting for you. So then to get out of it, developing another plan doesn't work. So then the very best way, the only way that to get out of that unknown future is developing your awareness, developing your tranquility state, and developing your clear comprehension, developing your direct perception. So once you have that, and developing your analytical mind. So once you have it, remember, it doesn't matter what will happen tomorrow. You're not going to depend on the event or the situations or the environment. That anything happens, that you're going to be okay. And you will go through that without suffering. So we say life is suffering. Actually, if you look very carefully, life is not suffering. Life happens according to cause and effect. There's nothing you can call as suffering, or there's nothing you can call as happiness. Just life happen according to the necessary cause and condition available in that very moment. But the way we hold it and the way we maintain it make us that we can make it more difficult or more comfortable. So life itself not suffering or comfortable. It's going to depend according to our inner behavior. So we are the one who make life suffering, struggle. So we are the one who make life comfortable, happy. But when it comes to meditation, here, after tranquilizing your mind, deeply you go into vipassana. In that level, our main purpose is not to make your life suffer, or even not to make your life to bring it to happy moment. You have to develop very tranquility state in you with the equanimity. So when it comes to the very meaning of the equanimity, it's one of the meaning, it another way called upekka, And when it comes to that, you develop the ability to closely look into something without judging it, without putting any, without having any favor, without having any desire, without having any preconditioned mind, without having any resistance. You develop your awareness to observe it. So then when it comes to our mind, our life, can you look into that? If you're able to see that way, then you're going to see its own nature. So in day-to-day life, you can simply do this exercise. When you watch this video, or if you watch any YouTube video, just mute it. Mute the speaker and just see the picture, the person talking, the picture. Just keep looking at it. And without putting any kind of idea on it, just keep looking. And then you can practice it in a kind of like in day-to-day life with your people, with husband, wife, children, parents, friends. Just without having any favor, thinking according to whatever you have, whatever the relationship that you have, or any kind of resistance, preconditioned mind, or without any judgment, just look at the person, how that person move, and whatever the activities that person does. So that physically will help you to observe something without having kind of like a mental image, or without having any kind of idea about what you observe. Then you're going to see something, that what you see is not your thought. So then you bring that to your practice. So in the very first level, you observe the inhalation, exhalation. You don't develop any favor on it. You don't have any judgment. You don't have any mental chattering on it. So you just simply observe without putting any favor or any resistance. So another way, that is the point that you develop your equanimity. So in that very level, you can see something, its own nature, according to its own nature. So otherwise, always our own mind start to bounce back out of whatever the person or the events or the things or anything. So as example, if I take something and say, oh, I like this, then maybe it is a material thing. Maybe I say, oh, I like this. Maybe it is a material thing. But we really don't see this piece of wood as wood or something like that. And even it's according to its own nature. That whatever like, dislike, is coming from our own mind. But when you observe with the equanimity, upekha, you come to a point. You have more qualifications to go closer and observe it. So if with the favor, with the resistance, preconditioned mind, with the chattering and judging, mental personal judgment related to your experience. With that, if you come closer to anything, you're not going to recognize it. Anything, material thing, physical things, even our inner feelings or anything. So that's why the developing equanimity, especially when you observe yourself, developing the equanimity is very important. So then remember, when you practice meditation, in the very first level, you come to the point to settle down with your posture. Your mind, your body has a deeper connection. So the mind mainly can understand and recognize the behavior of your posture. So it is very important to come to the posture and sit properly. If you can't do it, just practice. Try yourself a little bit. Then you can come to it, rather than giving up or rather than try to make any other excuse. Rather than trying to develop many theories, oh, sitting, no need, and so like that. Just sit yourself and see, experience it. And then you will see what the difference that you can find when you have a very, very solid, comfortable posture. Because the very easily mind can recognize that. And the mind going to listen to you, your body. The mind inside your body. So that mainly will help for your meditation practice. And once you develop the posture, you develop the connection with your primary mental object. And according to our practice, our own inhalation, exhalation in front of our nose and upper lip area. And then you observe it with the equanimity. Equanimity means no, you not have any desire towards it, no any favor, no any resistance, no any judgment, no any preconditioned mind. You are not biased to it. There's no any fear regarding it. You completely become free, but at the same time, you closely observe your own inhalation, exhalation. While you observe, remember to not to forget the observer. The observer here means entire your body, your mind. And sometimes when the mind go here and there, or maybe thoughts come and disturb you, don't afraid for that. If you see it again and again, settle down with the sensation. And sometimes there are thoughts can come and it is strong and it can disturb to your observation. So in that level, observe that thought and see, is that thought related to greed, hatred, or the delusion? Dig into that, the same thought, and see from where it comes. Is that thought has any kind of flavor, color, nature related to greed, hatred, or the delusion? Delusion means not knowingly reasons. You don't see any kind of the relationship to anything. It's just a thought appear. And maybe you cannot see the beginning or you don't see the end. It's just the puzzle. So if so, drop it. If anything related to greed, drop it. If anything related to hatred, drop it. Even with your own desires, sometimes thoughts can pop up, and look into that thought and see, is this thought? Because at this moment, I just sit and trying to concentrate myself and settle down with the inhalation, exhalation. So this thought came, is this thought related to any kind of desire or the greed. You will see that. You will see your own thoughts. And once you see it, drop it. Don't go with it anymore. And then settle down. Even if any kind of thoughts come to you related to loving kindness, generosity, compassion, wisdom, don't go with it. Why? Because in the very first level, sometimes your greed, hatred, and the delusion can come. It's like as loving kindness, generosity, and compassion and wisdom. Like in the very conventional world, the ignorance hold this entire world with the face mask like wisdom. It's like the ignorance inside this wisdom dummy. And when you look at very clearly, you look like very real. But when you come closer, you see it is a dummy. So like that, our most of the ignorance look like wisdom. So that's why even it related to that, don't go with it. Don't be passionate or don't be happy about it. Just settle down with the sensation. It's nothing to do with the any kind of loving kindness or the compassion or the wisdom. So whatever the ideas, just settle down with the sensation of inhalation, exhalation, again and again and again. This practice is more important for you. And if you saw the news today, mostly all over the world, the most of the news and most of the medias brought up the story about Simone Biles. And she's the one of the greatest gymnastic player. All this history of in American gymnastic and all over the world, this young girl. And yesterday, she lose her balance. And then she got out of the team, and then she had a news conference. And then now she telling that she need to work for her mental health. See that she had a lot of gold medals and the most of the very famous, all the Olympic medals. And she was the best player around these all games and playing with the gymnastic. And as you know, when it comes to the gymnastic, that say this flexibility, the physical flexibility, 100% you have to develop. You know, you and me cannot twist the body like that way. And we so appreciate that people try to do it so much. And even just imagine going to Olympic and the middle of that game, and she lose her balance, and then finally she come and tells she want to take care of her mind, mental health. Just imagine you reach to the highest of the games, and you know, in your life, whatever the field that you keep going, that if you forget yourself, your own mind, that is what happens. It doesn't matter in the material world what you get, become successful. This is not a kind of like a jataka story. This is not a kind of like a once upon a time story. This is not a kind of like the Buddha's time story. This is not a kind of like a historical book repetition. No, this is a very real happens in front of us. And how about she come and then she tells, I want to take care of my mental health. And then you have to remember, you have to teach to your children. Maybe you pushing them. And then maybe you're trying to make them the best in the world. That's good. That's the wish of all the parents, and the children should be like that. But at the same time, remember, without mental health, that you cannot reach to any place, and even you reach to that place, you're not going to be there. That is what the Simon's Biles story tells. Without mental health, maybe you will reach to some place, but you cannot be there. So if you didn't see the story, if you don't know the story, go and read about it. It will teach you about the life. That's why. And that's why you need to practice, and that's why you have to put some value on your practice. This is what you keep doing here is so valuable for you. Remember that. Even sitting, even have the intention to practice little bit. Even the effort that you put a little bit to get out of your old thought patterns and just try to settle down with the primary mental object. At least trying to develop yourself undisturbed mind and give a huge positive benefit to your life. That's why it called this practice itself developing it's a developing a profitable skill to yourself. And at the same time, you have to be very careful that here, that what the mental health in the conventional life they talk, maybe just having a ordinary mind and just kind of like becoming happy, comfortable, the joy, satisfaction. No, there's something beyond, there's something deeper. And developing undisturbed mind and recognizing how things come to be as they are. When you come to that point, that is where you're going to experience the real mental health. As a human being, you are the one can have that. So then when we come to the health, especially all this time period with this pandemic situations, 1.5 years, people put so much effort to be healthy. And then people do a lot of things to be healthy. And people so careful about the health. But end of this all, we have to see what the health mean. For where we go, what we trying to develop out of this health. Just being healthy, the physically healthy, then after that what? So that's why the physical health is important. Why you need to have a physical health? To develop your profitable skills and develop your awareness. Why? Because when you develop your awareness, out of that awareness, you and all people, living beings will get the benefit. Just imagine you have the very healthy physical body, but if you don't have the awareness, if you don't have the right mindset, what will happen out of your behavior? So that's why you should not be like a Goliath. In the Bible story, the Goliath is a very strong, huge person. Destroy anything. That much strong. So big. And when the David come to his brothers and ask, why you cannot fight with the Goliath, and his brothers explained, oh, he's so big, he's so strong. So then sometimes we trying to become like that, but we don't develop the ability of recognition. So health means finally, and according to the Buddha's teaching, that is the health. That without your awareness, forget about other anything. So then your balance, your health mean, remember, undeveloping, undisturbed mind. And after that, get into analytical mind. So that is where we keep going. So for that, this all the information, I hope it will help for you when you practice yourself. So then always remember, you are your own master. So you are your own boss. You are your own teacher. So you have to be very careful, especially while you practice it, not to spend this time for something else in your mind, to think about something, what happened in the past or the future. That thoughts will come. But determine yourself, have the effort to settle down with the primary mental object. Why? Because if you don't do it, if the thoughts come and if you start to think about that things and it become a habit, that then you lose the moment of awareness and you lose the moment of recognition. So get out of that all. In the very first level, settle down with the body and then bring the attention towards the primary mental object in front of your nose and upper lip area, sensation of your own inhalation, exhalation. And with that, little by little, bring the awareness slowly towards the inhalation and exhalation, and finally settle down there. So the body is a kind of like a tool. You're trying to get into that. The sensation also like a tool to develop the awareness. And you don't need to bound to the sensation. You don't need to bound to the body. And you don't need to bound to your mental feelings or the recognition. Always remember, the energy is always in flow. Let it be like that way. Don't stuck inside you with your own experience. And moment by moment, whatever happens, bring the awareness towards that and be with it. And at the same time, try to recognize the change happening moment by moment. And that will teach you the impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within our own experience. So let's get into practice a little bit. Your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line and be comfortable with your posture. So bring attention to your body. Scan head to toes 3 times yourself and say so patveva, or may I be well and happy. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation and exhalation. And at the same time, if you are familiar with the practice, and try to keep unmovable posture. So deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please. And slowly settle down with the body, and then little by little increase awareness towards the sensation of inhalation, exhalation. So don't be lazy, don't be too hard, don't push too much. Just little by little, settle down with the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. Do nothing extra. Whatever you experience, always remember it's all thoughts. There's nothing else. The equanimity in you without putting any favor or any resistance, and observe closely. Come closer to your own inhalation, exhalation. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away. Already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light and expand the capacity. To your backside, to your left side, to your right side, downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy with the recognition of impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Supreme Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious act we performed here, may all of us get out of sickness or the disease and aging and the death. And finally, may all of us attain supreme bliss of liberation or the Nibbana. Also, we share these merits with our guardian angels and deities. May they be able to gain these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata ammehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya imaya dhamma anudhamma patipattiya Buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam paribunjissami dhamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.